Zelda Informer Podcast. Bum 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 bum.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Zelda Informer Podcast. My name is Adam. Thank you so much for joining us. This week's opening theme song is once again brought to us by Brennan and Company. If you have any of your own theme songs, missions, topics, fan art, or anything like that, please send those to us at zeldainformerpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's zeldainformerpodcast@gmail.com. But before we get into this week's episode, here's the news from this past week. Stephen Colbert takes a trip through Hyrule, we learn the most anticipated games of the holiday season, and Windows slung stones at Apple at their recent conference. Once again, my name is Adam. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, I'm happily joined by...
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Chris, and I earned this number 2 spot because I'm the best number 2 guy there is. Isn't that right,
the
Adam?
best poop guy. The best poop guy.
Yeah, I mean, that too. All right.
That was a cheap joke.
That was cheap shot at my joke.
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm the Poochie the dog of Zelda Informer. And we're also joined by...
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm a world-renowned chef/comedian, and I play video games in my spare time.
He's so not those first two things.
It's both
Make
at the
me
same
laugh,
time.
Patrick.
That's not how it works, man.
Too
I gotta
late.
be cooking.
Alright, let's move
have-
on. This
I have
hack.
to be cooking.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm
Like
Jerry
cooking mama.
Seinfeld. I cook octopus. Get out of here. Amateur.
You don't cook.
Thank you so much for joining us, Patrick. What have you guys been playing this past week?
I've been playing this game. You might know it. It's called J-Star's Victory vs. Plus for the PlayStation 4, otherwise known by its better name, Anime the Game, because it's pretty much every Shonen Jump anime character in one fighting game, and it's pretty great.
I've been playing way too much. I
What have
started
you been playing?
ever since the end of the podcast last week. I started off my trial of pains with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
And
This
did not
7
bode-
gigabyte patch.
that did not bode terribly well for me, as it's kind of a mess. It's not the worst Tony Hawk game I've played, but considering the worst one is Ride,
Let me
With
ask you
the
something, Colin.
peripheral?
go on.
Does it have a story mode?
No, it doesn't.
This makes me sad.
I will say, at least you can play as Wheezy, as Young Moolah, as Lil Wayne, so it's all okay. I've also played a new fighting game that actually just came out yesterday called Dengeki Bunko, or Bunko, some weeb is going to be mad at me, Fighting Climax, which is an anime fighting game, and it sucked.
I'm sorry.
So,
Patrick, to answer your question, yeah, Ride was the one with the peripheral skateboard that you actually could kind of ride as a skateboard if you
but like
think
you
you
couldn't.
modded it.
2015, man. How come I can't ride a skateboard in my living room?
but I will say I did play one good video game that did come out recently, and that game was Persona 4 Dancing All Night, because I am a sucker for rhythm games.
I don't like rhythm games. I played Persona 4 Dancing All Night at E3 this year.
I did, and I did it on a TV, and I thought it was a-okay.
Let me ask you guys something. Is it like, what is Dancing All Night supposed to be? Like
A rhythm game.
It's like a side plot to the Persona 4
Yeah,
series.
it's a
but
spin-off.
it's a rhythm game?
It's like every other DDR game.
Okay, that's kind of
Guitar
bullshit
Hero.
with me. It's kinda-
Why?
I mean, because I want to get into the Persona franchise, but I don't want to get into it like that.
You don't need to.
Then
Like
don't.
the game
It's not...
is not like necessary to understand canon. I think it's more just like a fun side story. But there is
Is
a
it?
good story to it. Yeah.
You can get into Final
it's-
Fantasy without playing the rhythm games on 3DS. Like,
Yeah. Although those are good games.
fun.
Yeah,
My
they
friend has
are.
played through all
I've
of them.
played
They're
one
all
of those.
solid.
Do they
Mhm.
have Final Fantasy rhythm games?
Yes,
yeah,
they do.
Yeah, you play all the songs from Final Fantasy. It's just like a tap game. You just tap it, but they have really cool like variations that you do with touching.
Oh, that is disgusting. That disgusts
No. A
me.
lot of people like it, and it actually has a
It's
pretty
really
interesting
fun.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one rhythm game that has my heart, and that's
Patapon?
DJ Hero for sure.
it's not
Did you
Parappa the
actually like
Rapper,
DJ
then
Hero?
go home.
It's actually neither of those. It's the critically acclaimed Guitar Hero 3. So,
Oh, I thought we were doing like being like
Jokes?
ironic or something. Yeah, like Guitar Hero 3 is awesome. I agree.
exactly. I take my rhythm games seriously,
Ironic.
gentlemen.
I liked the first Patapon though. Like
Yeah. I
play
like
through all of it.
Patapon too, but it's like I didn't think anyone would actually say Guitar Hero for their favorite rhythm game.
I actually played Parappa the Rappa again for like the 5th time today because you can blow through that game in like 30 minutes.
You guys remember that Guitar Hero for the DS Lite?
Yeah, that
No.
was terrible.
But
Didn't you have to like? You got like the peripheral that looked like a
you had to hold your
stress
DS.
thing?
Yeah, you had to hold your DS sideways, like you were playing one of those like puzzle games.
It looked. You turned your DS into like a mini like what is the accordion?
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
pretty. I don't know. It just
The
looked
keys and
weird.
everything.
I'm like, that. How did that work? It
Mm.
didn't really.
Remember
I mean,
when
it was a cool.
Remember when they announced and released Guitar Hero DS, and then they announced the DSi like that same week, thus making
Yeah.
Guitar Hero on the DS impossible?
Oh yeah, you're right. Because no Game Boy adapter.
That was a fun day.
Yeah. Pretty wonderful.
You're really good at reminiscing.
I was there.
Oh.
I recently this week played Undertale and Volgar the Viking. Volgar the Viking is a game that was made recently, in the past few years, I think. But it recently got ported to the Dreamcast for free, and I played through it. It's really hard, and
Didn't you
I cried.
Yeah, didn't you mention this during the last podcast?
I did.
We
I
sure did.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
if it wasn't during the podcast, it was during like the little pre-call that we had.
No, we mentioned it during the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't think I hadn't played it at that point. I literally just started playing it yesterday, I think. But I also played Undertale a great deal, and I haven't spoken about Undertale at all. And Undertale's amazing. It's a Earthbound style indie game where you play as a protagonist going through a subterranean sort of dungeon area, trying to find their way out, and has a great sense of humor and an interesting mechanic to the game. Is that you can basically play any single fight or any single encounter without killing anyone and still win the encounter.
That sounds good.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't understand
You don't understand what?
how.
How?
Yeah,
There are pacifist options.
that's doesn't click with me.
It makes sense in the game. It really
Right.
does.
Cool, man.
Uh,
I'm a little bit foggy right now.
why is that?
I've taken ill
oh no.
within the last 9 minutes since the podcast started.
This
it was me
podcast
talking,
is brought to
just-
you by GameStop. Go on GameStop.com and buy Mick Kids for the NES, $12.99. Power to the players.
Is that true?
Are we really sponsored by? I didn't.
That sounded like a real commercial.
Do it. Go buy Mick Kids.
Why am I wearing a
What's
GameStop
Mick
shirt?
Kids?
What is Mick Kid?
What's Mick Kids?
You don't know what Mick Kids is?
No.
It's a Super Mario Brothers 3 clone that was licensed by McDonald's.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can buy it right now on GameStop.com.
Yeah, because they're
Do
doing
I
the
want
retro
it?
thing. Yeah.
Power to the players.
All right. So yeah, did you guys see the Windows conference that happened this week?
I
Yeah.
didn't. I opened my Facebook. I think it was this morning or yesterday, and everyone's like, "Man, Windows new Surface Pro 4, Windows Surface Book, new Windows Phone." I'm like, "Did Windows like just jizz out a bunch of products today?"
It
And
sure
so then
did.
I
They did,
googled it.
and
Oh, I can't say jizz, can I?
you can.
Okay.
So Microsoft ejaculated new products made of semen.
Are they good? Are they like cool? I heard
A
good things
full
about
navy.
the phone.
They
is what
they
the
they
top-
released a full navy of products.
Okay. Oh, because it's semen. Jesus.
Yeah.
Good
I will
job.
say I will say this much. I didn't watch the conference, but after I heard about everything that happened, I was a little disappointed. But at the same time, then I was reminded about something. Like, oh, wait a second. Now with the release of all these new products, the Surface Pro 3 is going to go down in
Yeah,
price.
that's what I was thinking too. Because I've been shopping for one of them for a
Yeah,
while
the
now.
Surface Pro 3 is awesome, and I guess the Pro 4 is good, and the the new book or whatever the hell they have, it's going to be better. But the Surface Pro 3 is all I need right now.
Yeah, I've been looking for portability.
I mean, the Pro 2 itself was pretty good
But
too.
the Pro
you can play,
2,
like...
you were locked in at certain Microsoft only apps. With the
No,
Pro
that's
3.
the Surface RT, you dingle.
You're a dingle. You're a dangus.
The Surface Pro 2 had an i7 in it, and you could play Counter-Strike Source, and it's pretty baller.
But could I download Adobe products?
yeah,
the
that was
full
my
version.
question.
I mean, if you could download Counter-Strike Source, then yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Only the Surface RT had the weird version of Windows 8 that could only allow you
The
to...
The Surface RT was not a good product. A lot of people
No, it
are
wasn't.
like,
It had you could only use Windows apps. The
That's why it was
Surface
kind of
Pro-
discontinued quickly.
The
Yeah,
Surface 2,
just like
the
an
Surface 2,
iPad.
they just changed it. They never included RT ever again.
hmm
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. The Pro 3, I have my eyes on that bad boy right now.
Yeah, same.
I'm really excited about the Surface Book. It looks fantastic.
I know,
It
but
does
it's
look
a little
fantastic.
bit more pricey than what I would want to spend on.
It's like
something
Apple
that.
pricey almost.
No,
But
it's-
that's the point. It's meant to be
$1,500.
it's meant to be a MacBook killer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone's trying to do like ultrabooks and stuff now, but it's not really.
I mean,
mean-
this is the closest thing to an actual 2-in-1 that I've ever seen, and that a lot of people have ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm up for ultrabooks, but I'm more for ultrabook laptop hybrids. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
same.
still need some of the excluding a disk drive. I'm okay with taking out a disk drive from a computer, but I'm just not okay with you losing the 4 USB ports that you need.
Well, it has that. Plus,
No, I mean it looks like a great
USB-C
computer.
and all the other 30 things that new PCs have. So there you go.
Yeah,
You have your PC ports and
and such.
NVIDIA
was-
GPUs and
What kind
Intel
of
Core i7
Microsoft
Skylakes.
product do you think Zelda would buy?
Microsoft
Zelda?
Band
This is a
2.
Zelda podcast.
Actually,
isn't it?
Zelda would buy an
specifically,
Apple
I think.
product.
Okay.
Zelda would be a typical white girl princess, and she would want.
No.
an Apple
I think
product.
that Zelda is one of those she's because she's like the Triforce of Wisdom. She'd probably be like super into coding and get really into like.
She'd probably wear Ray-Ban glasses with black rims, and she would probably she would get a Canon or a Nikon camera, and she would think she's the
and put everything
Excuse
into
me.
grayscale in Adobe Lightroom 3.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that describes more Link to me.
Link is like the guy. Link doesn't care about phones. His phone is like the Razor from 2000.
Yeah,
whenever.
Triforce
Link's like
of
all into
Courage, it just makes him stupid.
Yeah, he's out there. He knows. He's into real world communication.
He still uses a Palm Pilot. That's Link.
He
I
doesn't get
agree.
why everyone's in their 2D world all the time, looking at their
Oh.
screens and shit.
Ganon uses an HP Pavilion desktop with an AMD Athlon.
No.
And-
Ganon is power, so he is like.
And
he's
he
got-
runs Windows Vista.
He's got a full size
i9.
tower.
I'm, like,
he's got
completely lost at
20
this
hard
point.
drives.
Someone in the audience, please do this. Please draw a comic
Ganon's got
where
3-way
Ganon
SLI.
is like a really grumpy dad trying to get iTunes to run well on
No,
his
'cause
like
he's
9-year-old
power,
desktop.
man. He
He's
needs to
power,
have
so
power.
he has Skylake i7. He has 3
I don't know. I
SLI
don't see
GPU.
Ganon being a mustard race.
980s.
You know,
Are you
I
just
don't-
saying words, or are those actual things at this point? 'Cause
I'm saying
they're
saying real
completely
things.
I'd say
legitimate
Ganon
things.
has i9. He's invented a
I'm
new
like-
processor.
He's probably like a PC Master Race kind of guy, even though he's on the Nintendo console. He's like on the Nintendo console Master Race. He's on the
He
console.
downloaded Dolphin so he could play Melee in HD. He could play himself in Melee.
What a scrub! I bet he still plays Counter-Strike 1.6
No, he plays Melee in HD. We just said it.
and 1.6.
Melee 1.6.
No,
Yeah, but,
Counter-Strike
Col-
1.6. You dingle.
Colin,
Yeah.
one of the things that you noticed about the conference that I didn't kind of realize at the time because I was interested in everything else, they didn't have as much information about the new Windows 10 update for Xbox. As I
Oh
would hope
yeah,
for.
I don't know what was up with that. That just kind of happened.
Didn't they already talk about it like in the past?
I
They
heard they just
did,
mentioned
but very
backwards
vaguely.
compatibility.
So I was hoping that they would go more into detail about it, and they didn't.
I mean, they've been pretty straightforward, transparent with it before. It's kind of like
They were just kind of like, there's a new UI, some things are going to be different. Here's like 2 of the new features, but they didn't explain how anything else is going to work. Like they still haven't shown off how snapping in the Windows 10 UI is going to work.
I was actually talking to one of my brothers, who is a coder, about the Microsoft conference, and other than the Xbox, it seems like Microsoft probably won't be making like consumer products after like Windows is done. Like in the next 10 years, I doubt we're going to see as many Microsoft products or even a physical Microsoft product, other than maybe a gaming system of some kind.
you think they won't make phones or
No,
computers?
because I think
or
that
anything like
that there's they don't have a strong enough market pull on that. I think that it's not really suiting them. It's not really suiting their games. There's not really as many. There's not a reason why they should keep pushing for phones when all it is just wasting money.
Well, I mean that is true, but then they also have the option
Mhm.
to lock some of their things to themselves. They pretty much own the most popular operating system in the world.
Yeah,
And
they
so if they
Mhm.
were to lock that only to Microsoft brand products, which of course they wouldn't, but
because they can't, because then they would just completely destroy any third-party support, and that would.
no, but that's the thing. Like they could do that, and then anyone who wants to keep using that would have to only stick with Microsoft products, and they would become like a direct competitor to Apple in that sense. Because
They
Microsoft's
are.
always been more open, but
I mean, they are a direct competitor to Apple
yeah,
right now.
but like they would be pulled.
Right.
The thing with Apple is that all
Right.
their products are their own. They don't do any third party sourcing, any of that BS. It's all their own stuff. So I'm just saying, Microsoft could turn into one of those. They already, yeah, you're right. They are a competitor, but they could turn into a company just like.
Well, I mean, in
Apple.
terms of gaming, Sony tried to make their phones part of the gaming process by making you could play games on your phone or stream through your phone, and it was a good feature, but no one really went for it, so they
Plus,
stopped
it's
doing it.
expensive.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's expensive.
So much to own an Xperia? Are you kidding me?
How much is an Xperia?
I don't know, $8,000.
I mean, when I went to go get an Xperia Play, that thing was like 25 cents on my contract, and it was new. So
Oh, that's decent. All right.
An
Yeah.
Xperia Z5 right now.
Well, I mean, it's expensive to create that kind of software at the very least. It's expensive for them to do all that for a phone that didn't sell necessarily well.
Sure, let's say that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
I think with Microsoft, it's that they're kind of living it up in the fact that Windows is so open and used by so many manufacturers that what they're just doing is they're making these Surface and these Surface products to get people to kind of ease back into Windows via like new technologies like tablets and new kind of fancy laptops. Because if you notice, they didn't make like a Surface desktop because they know
No.
that people are just going to build their own desktops.
Yeah, because it's become much more common. It's a lot easier for people to do that, and they're still going to be putting it on Windows. They're still going to be putting Windows on it for the most part.
So
I know, Windows
I
10
think
was
with the
so
Surface,
expensive,
it's that they're showing that a Windows tablet can work and that you can make something great, and they're sort of
Right.
leading the rest of the industry like Asus and HP into and Lenovo for making their own like really good Windows tablets, because I mean HPs have been really great.
Right. Yeah. That's why I think that they're going to learn from. That's why I think they're learning from Sony's mistake of not trying to do. They're not going to try to do the phone avenue very soon. And I'm hoping that Nintendo does the same thing.
Yeah,
Do you think
because
that Nintendo,
even I mean those phones they were showing off were not even Microsoft phones. They're Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah, they were a
Lumias.
third company. Yeah.
Well, no,
and that
Microsoft
was-
owns Nokia, don't they?
Now.
Yeah, they do. Which is a terrible acquisition. They should
But
have
it's,
done
but
that.
it's,
to begin with.
it's still not like a Microsoft phone. It's still
Do you guys
Microsoft
remember-
owns Nokia in the same way that like what's the Unilever owns Dove and Axe body spray and stuff like that.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
still a separate company that makes the phone.
Do you guys remember when Nintendo announced, or they didn't announce, but they said during some sort of conference, not a shareholders meeting, that they wanted to get into other technology and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, they've said that multiple times that they've wanted to expand
I've
because
always
they want to become more a home and lifestyle company rather than just a gaming company.
I've always imagined owning like a Nintendo branded TV. For some
They
reason,
actually did make a few. They had well, not necessarily a Nintendo brand, but they had a few deals with Sharp, who makes the screens for 3DS. They made this like Sharp NES thing and Sharp Famicom, but they were super expensive and nobody bought them.
I mean, I really want to. I mean, they're super rare, but I really want a Panasonic Q. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, that thing was cool.
It's for anyone that doesn't know, it's a GameCube with a DVD player.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it
that
looks really
sounds
nice.
awesome.
It looks like a. It
It's
doesn't
like
look
it's
anything
like a
like a GameCube.
chrome-plated Frankenstein GameCube.
Does it play GameCube games?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
but
god.
it has the
It has
disc
an
drive
extra
of,
DVD tray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
It looks
Panasonic,
gorgeous.
QUE.
yeah. Oh, Pew.
QUEUE?
AU.
No, just Q.
Oh, Q. I think you said Pew. I'm like, that sounds funny. But yeah, I always thought it'd be cool to own like an Nintendo, because I own a Sony TV, and I love having my PlayStation hooked up with my Sony TV because it's like UI is very similar. I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is like this feels right
Yeah.
in comparison to like having some other brand like connected to a console. It feels like normal. I guess a lot of people don't
Right.
notice that type of stuff, but I always appreciated like having like the same brand like across all type of like work and like technology and stuff like that. I don't know. That's just me personally. So having Nintendo TV connected to my Wii or Wii U or any type of device really would just like make me feel like warm and fuzzy inside.
Nice. Patrick.
Me. What games
Since
have I
this is
played
your-
lately? Arkham. Like, I don't know. Like, I got Arkham Knight. I just got a bunch of PS4 games because I don't have a lot of time for games lately because of school. So it's pretty cool to like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
PS4, good man.
I don't beat games very quickly anymore, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because then it's like it lasts long. I have Bloodborne. I haven't played a lot of Bloodborne. But
I have a lot of
it's really
games that I haven't
awesome.
been able to beat because of that same reason. Like, and after a while, I get a new game, not remembering that I still have a game I haven't beat
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I've been like so busy.
Yeah, that's how it's been with my Wii U. There's a couple of games that like I've beaten like the story, but there's stuff I still want to delve into. I still play Smash Bros like every day, so
Right.
Yeah.
Same. it's
I don't
hard
know
to
if
break that
counts.
habit.
But yeah, Arkham Knight's been basically keeping me occupied. I really like it. Like the car stuff might be a little much.
I want to talk about some other things that you like, but more in line with Nintendo because it's your first podcast, and we should get into these. First of all, what is your favorite Zelda game? What is your least favorite Zelda game?
I don't know why there has to be favorites, man.
Do you have like
well,
one or
because
two?
there's aspects that I like and dislike about a lot of them. Like I always like the gameplay and the aesthetic of Twilight Princess, but I think the story of Twilight Princess leaves a lot to be desired.
Right, we actually have a series on the site, ZeldaInformer.com, where one of our writers took the story of Twilight Princess and expanded on it and said, like, this is the direction they could have taken it, or this is what they could have done with these characters and these relationships. It's actually one of the more popular series.
That makes a lot of sense, because, like, I mean, Minna's, like, the only interesting one in that game, and everyone else is just kind of like, oh, you need to take this. But I love the gameplay, and I love the aesthetic of it, you know, and I don't think
Are you
we're ever
talking
going to
about
go
the
back.
the Wii version or
The
the
Wii
GameCube version?
It was both, I guess.
Okay.
I like the Wii one because of the stick controller. But like, I played the
Motion
GameCube
controls?
one.
The
Yeah,
motion controls.
played Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're not bad. That's probably one of the few games with motion controls that actually works pretty well.
Yeah, I liked that they were like, oh, let's try different things with Skyward Sword, but then at the end of the day, a lot of it kind of felt like a tech demo for Wii Motion Plus, and so that was the problem with that one. Otherwise, that game could have also been great because it was, it tried to almost be different. And that was cool. But yeah, probably Twilight Princess, just because in the age that I was when I was playing it, it was when I was finally discovering that I could be good at video games, that I could spend a lot of time playing video games. Because I played Ocarina of Time when I was a little baby, and it's so hard. I was like, oh my god, the Water Temple is so hard. Now I go back and play the Water Temple. I'm like, yeah, it's a fun meme, but it's really not that hard. Like, it's just a video game.
It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying. Not that Ocarina of Time is not great, but it was like, I didn't get to appreciate how hard it was for the time at which it was released. So I would say Twilight Princess because it was targeted at me, and I enjoyed it probably the most at that time, more than any other game I was playing.
All right, very cool. Colin, have we really never asked you what your favorite Zelda game is?
No, you haven't. But I mean,
bet it's
I'm
Oracle
sorry.
of Seasons.
I'm sure that
That's not a bad game.
It's come
Yeah.
up like in
I
during
don't know. I picked a random
conversation.
one.
Oh, okay.
It's Link to
What
the
is-
Past, by the way.
It probably is Link to the Past.
I feel like we definitely have talked about that then. I'm sure.
I think I've mentioned it,
Because
but I've
all
never.
Adam wants to talk about is A Link to the Past.
It's like my favorite thing ever to talk about, that and coffee, just like those two things all the time.
What does one have to do with the other?
Nothing. It's just those two topics. I just go between them back and forth.
What can you expound upon coffee-wise that you could expand upon Zelda-wise? Like Zelda, you could talk about story and game mechanics and like the
I mean, you could talk
lore
about
and
regions.
stuff.
You could talk about different techniques to like brew coffee.
Ethiopia.
Talk about the recent like expansion of popularity of cold brew. How Starbucks doesn't actually give you cold brew. And my recent appreciation for it. I met a guy who knows a lot more about coffee than me recently. It's one of those areas that's like I appreciate coffee and I would love to know more. I just know so little about it that I don't even try. But then I do
Man.
that same thing with video games. So
Guys, we talk about so much. I just thought it was all Zelda. It's not.
no, we
It's
don't.
coffee.
Yeah, we try to keep it varied. But let's go into a fan topic where we are talking about Zelda. James from California asks, "What is your biggest fear for the future of the Zelda franchise?" So this kind of leads into the other thing that I wanted to ask you about. Patrick, like you said that you were having trouble figuring out what your favorite Zelda game is, and you finally got to Twilight Princess. But you said you like and dislike certain aspects of all the games.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess being story. How could you relate that to the idea of like fears of things that future Zelda games might do, or what Zelda you could possibly do, or another game past that?
Well, it was funny when they first announced. I don't know about they first announced because people have always been like, oh, there's gonna be a Zelda U, it's gonna be Zelda U, whatever. And then when they first showed that the gameplay footage where they're like, you see that mountain, you can go there. It's like Skyrim. Like probably 2 or 3 weeks. Probably 2 or 3 weeks before that, me and my roommate were like, how cool would it be if they made Zelda sort of more like Skyrim? Not like Skyrim where it's like an RPG and it's like Bethesda just makes Zelda, but like in a sense where you feel like you're actually exploring this world and stuff. Like to take what was incredible about Ocarina of Time and exploring such an open world for the 64 and then adapting that to such a larger console. And so I'm worried, I guess, that it would be too because the standard right now is Sandbox. I was playing Arkham. I played through all 3 Arkham games this year.
There's like 80 billion things you can do at once, and you can do them in any order.
Yeah, and I'm always like, well, when do I do the side missions and stuff like that? And then earlier on GTA 5 and before that Red Dead Redemption and GTA 4 and stuff like that. And now Mad Max. I played Mad Max and it's the Sandbox. I heard Yahtzee describe it. He says the Sandbox, and that's so funny. But it's so boring. It's like it is the bubble bursting. It's showing you that man, like this is now the standard and it's getting boring. And that's I guess a fear of mine is that it just turns into a big old sandbox where I'm like, now what do I do? Come on, put me back on a dungeon. Make me do some cool
Would
stuff.
you say that A Link Between Worlds is a sandbox game in some regards? Because it does have that sort of openness to it. I just kind of want to bring that up because I feel like someone will wonder if we don't talk about that. Because I do like that game a lot and I like what it does. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Me? Or someone else? No, I mean, yeah. There was stuff that you didn't have to do, stuff you didn't need to find, and you could do all the dungeons in any order, but I'm not really sure. Well, there's less to it, because most of the stuff that you're free to do is still story related.
Is it like the problem that I had with GTA 5 was that there was so much to do. One of our friends, Stan, said that there's so much to do that everything feels boring. Would you say that that's kind of the problem with a lot of sandbox games that Zelda or Link Between Worlds doesn't do?
Yeah. No, I mean, because I was never bored in that game because for the most part I was just doing story stuff. If I was looking for an extra thing, it was because I wanted it to help me in the story, not like I wanted 100% it. Because I didn't know what 100% would mean for that game. I didn't. Right. It was kind of new to me.
I actually watched that game, like a Let's Play of it, because I watch Let's Plays, and I found something that I didn't know was. I'm sorry?
I said you're a psychopath.
Yeah, exactly. I realized there were things about the game that there were like little secrets and items that I didn't get because I just didn't know they were there.
Yeah.
There were little side plots.
Yeah, but Ocarina of Time was like that too. You could play all of Ocarina of Time without getting the giant snipe or the bigger sword.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. I appreciate that about games because Zelda games because they encourage exploration.
And so that's not quite what it is in Link Between Worlds as compared to like GTA 5. In GTA 5, there's like a mission where you have to like jog against a woman, and she's like, "Jog with me," and I'm like, "What is going on?"
It's just absurd. It's
very absurd, and it's the same way in other sandbox games where it's like, "Oh, I have to do the side quest because they make the side quest feel as important as other missions."
And it's like. And it's like, wow, you can actually win or lose the race, and then it events like a whole new thing about her opinion of you, which changes like the way that you interact with her. But then,
yeah, exactly, you don't really get anything out of it.
It's very, very contained.
Yeah,
which is ironic for a Sandbox.
Exactly. It's contained to that one event. And so for me, I feel like it should be more like Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne, where it's like you can go wherever you want, but there's definitely ways that you should go. And also, like, we're not gonna really tell you where to go. I don't know. I was so about Dark Souls.
It encourages you to move certain ways as opposed to telling you to go those ways.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
The problem with Skyward Sword, not just being like, oh, we're taking risks, but also we're being real careful about it. The problem was that like all the hand holding, all the
they streamlined a lot of stuff. They made a game that was more about RPG elements and exploration into a first person shooter.
Yeah,
I guess,
it was
with swords and spells.
It was very much like, oh man, maybe not all the people who are buying this are going to be used to this kind of gameplay, so we gotta still keep it that Zelda, because a lot of people feel that Zelda's kind of stagnated at this point.
What? How so?
How everything's like since Ocarina of Time, every game has kind of just been like Ocarina of Time.
You mean 3D?
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's no you can't argue that there's a certain amount of people who are like, oh, Nintendo just puts out the same games year after year with different graphics or whatever. And I like to think, I hate, being so absolute on either side, thinking like, oh no, they're all great or they're all bad. Like, there are aspects that change from game to game that make it better and better, but we haven't gotten to a point where we can totally revolutionize this genre of quote unquote Zelda game.
Right. I think that you could say that the thing is, like, there are still a lot of 2D Zelda games coming out.
Yeah.
They come out almost every other year. Every other release is a 2D game. It's 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D, or handheld to console.
Did you
in a lot of cases?
Fast, man. It trips me out.
I'm sorry?
The way you just said 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D, it was trippy. It was cool. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's all right. But it feels like they are locked into their two different formulas of 2D style game and 3D style game, and it kind of caused a divide in the Zelda community. It's like some way down the road, probably around Wind Waker, I'd say, is when it really started.
Probably after Wind Waker.
Yeah, because people started to go back and be like, this is what Zelda used to look like, and you've changed it to this 2D style. And then people are like, I'm actually warming up to Wind Waker. And so, people started to defend that sort of style. And people started to just hate Skyward Ocarina of Time or bash against it just to defend the 2D side of things. And, I mean, I don't like Ocarina of Time, but that's just personal taste. And that's, I just
deny
prefer
that
the
it's
2D
important,
Zelda games.
man.
What?
You can't deny that it's important.
No, I can't deny that it's important. I think that there are other games in Nintendo's lineup of 3D games that were more important, but in terms of the Zelda franchise, Ocarina of Time had a huge impact.
Had a very big impact.
It's, probably one of the biggest. It's like the fourth game in the series.
Well, it's why Zelda gameplay is what it is today, though.
Yeah, it is.
Also, Wind Waker is really good. If you want to ask me my favorite, I played through Wind Waker 3 times in the past year. Another one where it's like, man, story-wise, it could have been so much better, but like, it could have. Sorry, but we stopped talking.
If you need a minute to gather your thoughts, fine.
No. It's like we already talked about this, so let's move on. Do something else.
I got into a tangent about 2D versus 3D, and I don't remember where that was. A lot of the Zelda. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm kind of just going through like a train of thought on this one. It's kind of a weird podcast. We're just kind of getting into the groove of things.
Stream of consciousness.
So I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zelda games. The games that tend to miss the mark, I guess you could say, don't completely do that. And I think that I'm not necessarily worried about the Zelda franchise, or I have a big fear. But if I was to find my biggest fear, it would be that it tries to streamline gameplay more into the mainstream crowd.
Yeah.
It tends to focus less on puzzles and focus more on hidden puzzle, like button switches or item blocks. So
which are types of puzzles when you think.
No, yeah, but it makes you think you're solving harder puzzles than you are.
Yeah, and you're just using a different kind of button.
Okay.
In the same way that the wall mechanic in A Link Between Worlds is asking you to look at rooms in a different light. In the way that that mechanic works, you are exploring the environment differently. You are thinking in a different aspect. You are solving puzzles differently, and they are creating puzzles with that mechanic in mind. But they're not necessarily saying you have every time that there's a problem, you go and do that thing. No, you either don't or you do, and sometimes you combine it with the other items that you're going to be using for that dungeon. So that's what I think a good puzzle is in a Zelda game. When you are combining your various tools together to try and solve puzzles and try to come up with creative solutions. And I'm worried that they might continue to make things more simplified in a fear of it not being as fun. I remember Shigeru Miyamoto, when they were making Super Mario Brothers 2, he said something along the lines of, I don't care what it is, as long as it's fun. When he was talking about a game they were making in collaboration for a festival that ended up being the American version of Super Mario Brothers 2, the one with the turnips and everything. But yeah, I think that Nintendo focuses on fun, at least with the people that do focus on fun still in charge. I think they will. And I trust the new president and CEO of the company a lot. I think he's a smart dude, and I think that, going forward, the Zelda franchise is safe in his hands as long as, and I'm sorry to say this, Eiji Aonuma doesn't get exactly what he wants, because I don't particularly enjoy Eiji Aonuma's opinion on Zelda games.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
But that's all I'll say. That question was from
Okay.
California, right?
Mhm.
How's the weather, man? Love to be there. That's crazy.
He's been sending us,
That's globalization, man.
James actually has been emailing us for the past couple of weeks, and I've been slowly getting through his emails. But every time he ends with like a little status update on the weather. Like the first one I think said from James from Cali on fire. Then the next one is like California still on fire. California not as quite on fire.
I will say
California now it's raining here. Weird.
It's
Thank
hot, but it's not humid.
In California.
Yeah. That's where I want to be, man.
It's better than here.
Better than here.
It's a lot more expensive than Florida.
New York is just based all year round, so there you go.
Shut up.
Did you say California is generally more expensive, or like living in California is more expensive?
Well, both.
I'm not trying to buy the state.
No, I mean, like, just
Why would you want to buy California? They have no water.
Okay, way
Yeah,
to be the
Spanish.
Way to play the funny guy, Mr. Patrick the comedian.
I told you. Now I'm cooking. I'm cooking up losers.
Oh my god.
Colin.
Yeah.
What is your fear of what is your biggest fear for the Zelda franchise?
Pose.
It's quite simple, actually,
It goes.
which is why I haven't really been saying much. It's that, they should just try new things with the formula. That's really it.
Okay.
I think the issue that most people have is that after Ocarina, they kind of started getting really, samey. Following just the same formula.
Which are you referring? Which ones in particular? Could you offer
all
an
the
example?
mainline ones, Wind Waker.
Dude, all the console ones are exactly the same.
Exactly. Well, yeah, there you go.
They're not exactly the same. But like I was saying, I'm not gonna say everything's bad or everything's good. But
no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
They all follow the same formula.
Well, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I know,
think
but
after
I'm saying that people shouldn't have to ask you. I'm trying to be like, I'm on your side.
Okay. I mean, I just want them to change up
Wouldn't
the
you say
formula a bit more, I guess.
Wouldn't you say that Zelda U looks like, from what we've seen, like it's gonna break that formula?
Yes, I like that it's going back to old Zelda. If anything, I would love a new Zelda too. That's just me, but
No, I think that'd be interesting. I think it'd be something that they should consider,
I think
especially
you're
with
gonna
a
hate
lot more
yourself
players
after you
nowadays
get it.
looking for more punishing level mechanics.
I
not
mean,
necessarily,
Ocarina of Time started development as a Zelda 2 sequel
Did it?
using the Super Effects chip, on the Super Nintendo. So
Really? Why did they change it?
because no one wants to make games with a Super Effects chip. Look at Star Fox and then think of Zelda. It's just
Oh, okay.
think of a platformer using Star Fox graphics. It would have just not went well. But I mean, personally, I didn't have as big of an issue with Skyward Sword as most people do. But I do agree that for the most part, it was pretty much very play it safe, paint by the numbers. compared to other Zelda games, and I guess that's just what I would like to see, just more kind of, changing up the formula and doing new things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That final boss though.
Yeah.
So I mean, it feels cool.
Probably
man.
one of the most powerful in the franchise.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best fights
It's
in
cool.
the series.
Fun fight.
Chris, do you have any of your own thoughts on this topic?
Yeah. So, in this, I have a few things. The first and foremost, and it's literally just 2 seconds. Drop the stupid controller. But that's about it. I go back to regular control scheme.
Man, Chris, hating on my Wii U gamepad.
I have a Wii U and I like it. I just want them to rely
Yeah, you
less.
do, because it's great.
And I had turned off the gyroscope on freaking Splatoon because it was useless.
Same. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Okay.
feel like people who are really good at that game use the gyroscope though, because of the way that they can like jump and shoot at the same time, like Halo
cry me
players.
a river.
But it's I can't do it. It's too hard, man.
I saw people like strap a Pro controller to a Wiimote so they can get the motion controls.
Oh yeah, that's a thing you can do if you really want it.
That's
it's
ridiculous.
Fantastic.
That is ridiculous.
No, it looks hilarious. I love it.
But that's not my major issue with the game, with the thing. My issue comes more along the lines of I don't know how to put this. I have two issues. I'll get with the easier one first. The way that they're handling, I feel like they're going more towards the 3D aspect than they are the 2D aspect. And even they went as far as making it a 3D game and then doing it overhead, which was A Link to the Past. Not A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds. They made the game with 3D assets and such, and then they're like, okay, now let's make the camera go up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine and all, but like, I think they would have done like everyone a service for just making the game 2D itself. And it would have been great.
Link Between Worlds?
Yeah, but I figured...
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't, but like, imagine that game in 2D. Just imagine how much happier you would feel.
No.
It isn't. It's in the top-down style.
Top-down style, not 2D.
Cool, yeah, something different.
Like,
Yeah,
I understand, like, what's the point of, like, a 3DS if you can't have 3D on it?
Well, that's why they were doing the 3D. That's why it looks the way it is, so that they can use the 3D effects. If they made pixelated, they probably could, but it would not nearly look as
I know,
vivid.
I understand.
And a lot of the dungeons actually really rely on it, because you tend to see actually the pits in floors, and you get to see where you actually can connect to walls because of the 3D aspect. It's awesome.
Right. I mean, but that's just, I'm saying this because things that we see coming out nowadays, like Shovel Knight definitely influenced that. I mean, like, I really do miss 2D in a way. I miss looking at it, and I realize I can go back and play old stuff.
Then you should totally get Undertale. It's only $10 on Steam. It has been blowing up online. If you loved Earthbound, you will love this game.
Were you
guys saying that I was the one from the 1950s?
No, I mean, I do enjoy a lot of old things. I believe that we honestly, Nintendo, every game company, not even just Nintendo, they got to go back to their roots. Everyone's like on.
So trading cards, Nintendo, go back to trading cards,
which they're doing. Actually,
they are.
Yeah,
that's actually hilarious.
But yeah, still, like, everyone just needs to take a breath of fresh air and like, all right, let's go back in the books. Let's start from page 1, and let's see what we can redo. Not necessarily redo, but like, let's see what we can revisit. Another thing is story. I feel like the story of the last game, Skyward Sword, was the least compelling of all the Zelda games. I felt like even Twilight Princess was okay, not as compelling. I felt like
Man, you're just making some enemies today.
Yeah, no, I felt like a lot of the Zelda games were. Except,
would you say that at least okay? Because the story and the characters can be two different things. You could say the story for the writing for the characters was good, but the story was bad.
Characters
would you say that? Okay,
yeah, I can say that.
Because I know a lot of people still defend like Midna and
Midna was great. All of them were great characters. They all had good characters, but they screwed it up. Like, you need to be able to introduce a Zelda game to a brand new Zelda player each time you do it. That's what they did with every Zelda game, starting from 1. That's what they did with Ocarina of Time. That's what they did with The Link Between Past. That's what they did with Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. They need to be able to do it, and I like
how you just merged A Link Between Worlds and Link to the Past to A Link Between the Past.
Because
that does save me a lot of time. I might start doing that.
Like, pretty much. I just felt like after maybe Wind Waker, they which was, I guess, is only 2 games. No, I'm gonna say Wind Waker included. I just felt like the rest, they were just they sucked in terms of story. And they need to go back and say, we need to make this game just as good and just as compelling. Make the relationships stronger. Make everything. Just make it fucking.
So you're looking for another Majora's Mask?
I'm looking for another Majora's Mask. However, I'm also looking for A Link Between the Past. I'm looking for another Ocarina of Time. I'm looking for another original Zelda game. I feel like not a lot of people think about the original Zelda game, and it's because
So
all
would
these.
you say? I feel like from this, your real fear is not story, but your biggest fear for the future of the Zelda franchise is that they're going to stop trying to. They're going to stop experimenting. That they're going to stop trying to be creative with each new game.
Yeah, I guess that goes with what Colin was saying.
Mhm.
You know, changing it up and doing the different thing, and it's pretty much what they need to do. But me, more particular in the story, and just if you're gonna do something on handheld, make it 2D. That's all. That's all I gotta say. They have a wonderful art style for the 2D. It's cute, pixelated. It looks great. That's why I love Minish Cap, because it just aesthetically it looks so great. The pixels they flow and it's wonderful.
I could see Triforce Heroes Triforce Heroes being a 2D game.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily hate that what the art style that they went with.
I mean, neither do I. I'm used to it. I'm just saying,
they kind of, and I've mentioned this before when I came back from E3.
They can't drop it. They can't just drop it.
They melded a lot of elements of Link to the Past design with the Wind Waker design to make the Toon Link design more centered.
Yeah.
More like uniform, which is good.
I agree.
It is a lot easier to digest.
They just
two different varying
the
designs
pink-haired guy.
Severin.
They just need the pink-haired guy. And then
I would love a costume that's like a classic costume, like supposed to be like a retro or something, and it has like some weird retro mechanic, or it's like the one that has like the blade beam, and his hair turns pink and he has the gold stripe on his head and has the whole Link to the Past costume.
I think that would be cute.
Yeah.
Now I guess that's the end of it. So comments, please don't crucify me for that. I just feel like that's what the Zelda franchise needs, and they're straying away from it. We will see with Zelda U.
Please crucify Chris. That way he can, pass on and then go to hell. So
Hashtag Christify.
I was about to say something, but I didn't want to say.
Christify.
Christify.
Christ. Because Christ was crucified. Not that you would know. Jew.
Anyway. I probably have to cut that out.
Why? Jew isn't an obscenity. It's not a racial slur. It's just
but
it's anti-Semitism.
It is.
It's anti-Semitism to call you a Jew?
Yeah. Yes.
Adam, I was
with that tone of voice.
Like what Louis C.K. said. You can say Jew normally, but as soon as you put a little bit of stank on it, it's completely different.
Yeah. It's true though. You crucified my savior, so I can't really forgive you for that.
Oh my God,
next question.
Let's get into our next fan topic.
Oh, thank you, California.
James also asks us, what is the worst video game character name?
Oh, I have
Shulk
this
is his personal least favorite name. It's too close to Sulk.
I know this one.
Thank you, James.
I have a good
and if you have any of your own topics, theme song submissions, fan art, anything like that, feel free to send that to us at zeldainformerpodcast@gmail.com. That's zeldainformerpodcast@gmail.com. So yeah, what do you guys think should be in the running for worst video game character name?
Steve from Minecraft.
Of all time?
Steve.
No, not
Minecraft.
Not Steve from Minecraft. Athlete Steve from Minecraft. Athlete Steve is just Black Steve. How racist is that? That's the only colored Steve. He has a freaking afro pick and a gold chain and a tank top and baggy pants and no basketball or football or anything. And they call it Athlete Steve. It's the most racist thing I've ever seen in a video game. So stupid.
Racism
Are they serious?
Racism in Sweden is different from racism
you feel better.
here.
If it makes you feel better, they're adding a hang glider to Minecraft. I don't know if that makes you feel better.
Actually, it does. I want them to fix the boat. The boat is so stupid. I saw someone rant about the boat recently, and I was like, yeah, man. Sorry, someone else go.
I haven't played Minecraft in years.
Any Donkey Kong character that isn't Donkey Kong.
Hey, you be quiet.
They all have some pretty dumb names.
Colin, you're just being a cranky Colin.
Colin, you get the hell out of here.
Man.
Actually, I would say I was thinking about it the other day in my bathroom as I was showering because my shower thoughts are about video games. I was like ukulele. I'm like, wow, Yuka's such an ugly name. Like that sounds gross, almost Yuka. Even though there's actually a plant, a potato type of edible food substance called yuca. It's most popular in South America. They make everything out of yuca. They make pan de yuca.
These are the things that Chris thinks about when he rubs his nipples against
No,
the
dude.
tile in the shower.
What are you talking
I love
about?
yuca. I'm there with you. It
No,
tastes like potatoes.
I mean, yeah, yuca's the food is good, but the name for a character in a video game just
Because
garbage.
it's supposed to be ukulele, dude.
Yeah, well, no, duh. But Laylee's the name of the bat, and Yuka's the name of the green lizard thing.
I don't know what game this is, so this is weird.
Ukulele.
That's the name of the game?
It is. It's the rare revival.
I think Wander from... I like this game. I think Wander from Shadow of the Colossus.
I'm trying to think
stupid.
what else is it. I can tell you.
I think it's good because it's kind of generic.
I can tell you a really
it's kinda
cool
like-
name in video games.
Well, it's not in the game.
I can tell you like two of my favorite names of video games. One of them is Zelda related. Are you ready?
Go.
You guys aren't ready for this.
What?
So the first one that's Zelda related is Zant from Twilight Princess. Because I feel like Zant was a super cool name. I'm like, dang, I sound like badass when I say
Yeah,
Zant.
Zant is
Oh,
cool.
it's scary. I feel like there's
Yeah.
fires like around me and like I'm just rock and roll all the time. Zant. Sounds great. And another cool name was from Kalahara's Gunslinger. That's the main protagonist, Silas Greaves. I'm like, that is an awesome Western cowboy video game name. I would choose that name any day of my life if I was a cowboy.
I'm gonna have to say what my least favorite video game name is. Isn't this is gonna be kind of weird? It's actually a Metal Gear name, and it's Hot Cold Man. Because
Hot Cold Man. I'm there.
yeah, there's no excuse for that name.
I mean, all the Metal Gear names, for the most part, are really stupid.
Just the whole
Like-
franchise.
And you don't realize how dumb they are. Like, even the more profound ones, you don't realize how dumb
Raiden
they
has
are
has a soft spot in my heart.
until you actually, like, hear them being said out loud in cutscenes. Like, spoilers for a game that's almost, like, over 10 years old, but at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3, Lyndon B. Johnson is like, "You truly deserve the name of Big Boss." And
Oh my god.
it's one
No,
of
it's
the
a
most...
ridiculous series.
It's so
Big Boss
ludicrous.
is a dumb name. So is Raiden. Raiden.
Raiden.
Wait, all right, which
Yeah.
one are you talking about? Metal Gear or are you talking Mortal Kombat? Come on.
Metal
I
Gear.
mean, there's
Raiden
also
and
like
Mortal Kombat
Fat
makes
Man,
sense.
The End, The Fury, The Pain, like
Revolver
Boss.
Ocelot.
there's a
Revolver
character
Ocelot.
named
Quiet.
just Boss.
So I had to explain to someone the other day that I'm like, oh yeah, there's Snake, there's Liquid Snake, there's Solidus Snake, and then there's Solid Snake, and they're like, wait, did you say Liquidus Snake?
Yeah, like,
It's
why
also-
why
that
is
is
that an
unacceptable.
inherently good game? Why are people like, oh, it's so complicated?
Well,
and
I will
cool?
say the Phantom Pain is pretty great, and you should try it.
It's tonally confused.
You're confused.
There's a lot about the Phantom Pain that I really, really do not like. A lot of things story-wise that I really do not like, and
But have
eventually
you
I
played
will
the
be able to get
game
into-
gameplay? No, go do it.
I haven't been able to play
Sandbox.
it, but yeah, that's the big thing.
It is
Adam,
Also-
you haven't been able to play it because you literally don't own the game.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it. That'll do
That's-
it.
There
that's
you
what
go.
happens.
That's,
it's called being broke and not having $500 for a system and a game.
Sid from Final Fantasy.
I
Oh,
know. Okay,
That is
That's a
that,
dumb
that
name.
was also a dumb name.
I refuse, sir, because they use it in every single game or
Yeah,
every
that's why
universe
it's
connected
dumb.
to Final Fantasy.
That's why it's dumb.
That's why it's dumb,
That's
because
why-
it's a reference.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're dumb.
I agree with you.
Barrett, also a dumb name. From Final Fantasy
Barrett
VII.
is a dumb name.
Red
You know, it's
13
like
from
fair.
Final Fantasy VII. Dumb name.
I guess
Cloud.
in today's modern culture, the name
Man, there are a
Ratchet
lot of
would
dumb
be
video
dumb.
game
you know what's a
names.
stupid video game name? Tony Hawk. I mean, who the hell? Ugh.
Let me.
Disgusting.
Richard Eagle, Tony Hawk.
Think about it.
John-
Ratchet
John-
from Ratchet
John
and
I
Clank.
mean,
Siegel.
really? Anthony
Ratchet
Hawk?
is Ratchet.
Yeah. The heck is
What
going
a-
on this week?
Wait, no, I
Mr.
want to
Game
keep doing
and
the
Watch.
dumb names. Mr. Game
You want to
and...
keep talking about
Oh,
more dumb
dude,
names?
dude, Wii Fit Trainer. What a dumb freaking name for a character in a video game. Wii Fit
I
Trainer.
agree.
That's such a mouthful. Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Why is it Duck Hunt and not Duck Hunt Dog? Like, why wouldn't Wii Fit Trainer?
Because then you got to associate the duck as well. Duck Hunt Dog and Duck.
Why can't it be? Why can't it be Wii Fit?
Duck Hunt Dog and Duck.
Duck Hunt Dog and Duck Hunt Duck.
It's
I always
okay.
say
They're the best
Duck Hunt.
characters anyway, so
Duck Hunt
it's
Dog and
it's
Duck Hunt
excusable.
Duck. Duck Hunt Duck. That sounds so great.
Sounds like Disco Duck.
I'm trying to think of really good or really bad.
Can the
a really
closing
good,
theme
really
for this
bad
week
character.
be Disco Duck? I want
Can the
people.
closing
No.
theme this week be the Legend of Zelda rap from 2007?
Can it be the Legend of Zelda rap from 1986?
Can it be the Legend of
Preferably.
Zelda rap from 1972? We just keep going further and further back.
It's the Legend of Zelda,
Can it
and
be-
it's really
Can
rad.
it be the Legend of Zelda rap from October 21st, 1955?
Is that today?
No, that's the 21st.
Well, it was today, and then you guys took me out of the 50s and brought me here to your land of science and history.
And you're in the land of time,
I
right?
feel like we've gone off on a tangent.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got good video game names that are stupid. Calendar Man from the Arkham games.
That's comics,
But he's in these games.
but it was
I mean,
made in the
there's-
comics in like the 50s.
They're coming for you. They're coming for you.
I'm not
But,
sure. I mean, if this is like an actual character's name within the game,
Mm-hmm.
but I own a game on the NES called. It's like Z's. It's literally pronounced like XYZXX. Like it's a.
Is that like
Zaz?
the new Pokemon game?
It's really. Let me try to find up how to actually spell this game.
What's the ice cream Pokemon's name?
Ice cream.
Dumb name.
Ruined
You know-
dreams.
You know what? It's if Meowth can talk, why can't he rename himself something that's not Meowth? Because there's like
Because he likes his name.
there's
Yeah.
1,100 other Meowths out there. Like,
1100? Did you count?
I don't know. They can breed.
If you're
way, the,
if you're a 1 in a million, it's
The
all
ice
about
cream
you.
Pokemon are Vanillite, Vanillish, and Vanillux. I'm
All
not
right,
making that up.
it is spelled XEXYZ.
Zexes.
I feel like
Phoenix Wright is a stupid name
why?
because it's like who? First of all, I've only heard
Because he's
one other
always right.
character. Well, right as in he's writing things, not right as in he's correct. Jesus, get your spelling correct.
I always thought
It's
it
not
was
even.
W.
It's not even the correct kind of
Yeah,
right.
it's
if you're gonna use it in that
W-R-I.
context.
but it's more American. That's the idea. Like the Wright brothers.
I
Yeah.
guess, but like think about it, Phoenix. Like I've only heard one other person named Phoenix, and that was a character in the Yu-Gi-Oh series, Yu-Gi-Oh GX to be specific.
I heard Walking Phoenix.
What? Phoenix is a word. That's a thing. That was a thing. Before
Phoenix is
People
like
call-
it lays eggs that are like always
People
infinite.
name each other like bread and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's name was actually Phoenix. In fact, I would embrace it like head on,
Yeah, Phoenix
directly to the forehead.
can be a name. Adam, I think that reference was a little dated for most of your listeners.
Yeah,
The head on one.
I feel like he's right.
Someone will get the head on reference.
Shulk kind of
Keeping it-
won. Shulk's a dumb name. Lara Croft, because everyone calls it Lara or Laura, but like no one really says Lara. Lara.
Lara Craft.
Agent 47 is stupid. Why can't they call him like Hank or like Henry?
Timothy.
What else? What are some really stupid video game names?
All of them.
Red.
Oh yeah, that is. How do you name your child after a color?
I feel like we should get off this topic.
Yeah.
Gary motherfucking Oak. Careful.
Edge.
So recently,
Anyway.
Nielsen released a list of the most anticipated video games of the 2015 season,
Oh, I saw
holiday
this.
season. Did you guys look at the list at all?
No.
There's a link, right? I got it.
I will tell you, I'm a little surprised at one of these placements over another one.
How so?
So there's one, I believe Need for Speed is on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I will be, excuse my language, I will be damned if Need for Speed is ahead of Battlefront. Like, that is not,
Why
that
is that?
cannot be true. Because Need for Speed is just, I don't feel like it's been relevant for like the past few years.
It's an online-only remake of a racing game that has like 15,000 installments. Who's
Like-
excited for this?
I
think
just-
at this point it's they've lost a little bit of the fan support.
I understand Call of Duty and I understand Fallout 4 on the list. I'm like, of course, those are the two biggest. Call of Duty is always the biggest anticipated from these 5-year-old kids who have nothing else to do with their lives besides play Call of Duty and Minecraft and put their videos with dubstep intro music on YouTube because that's all they do. but like a game like Need for Speed over Battlefront, I figure Battlefront is more anticipated than like half the games on the list, excluding the first two I just said. That's just my spiel. Besides that, I'm okay with the rest of the list.
Okay. Yeah, I was. It's a lot of it is the same. It's Call of Duty, Black Ops, Fallout 4, Need for Speed.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is up there for me. I really want to get
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, it was interesting because at E3 I was able to get into a closed demo sort of thing. It's they had like a. It wasn't playable. Basically, they had one guy talk through it while one of the developers was playing the game. It was clear there were a lot of bugs. It was clear there was a lot of like weird things, like she was walking through the snow and it was clearly wasn't like done, like they hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But I played through most of the last one that came out, and I loved it. I thought Laura was
so
great.
I'm looking at this.
I thought that as a character, she was written phenomenally.
Phenomenally.
I felt like she was strong yet human in every possible way.
It's been
I think that
it's been a while since I've played a game where like, you know, usually you're like, oh, the gameplay wasn't that great, but like the story, because that for a lot of people that was The Last of Us. I love both The Last of Us, but I get that a lot of people play The Last of Us and Metal Gear, for that matter, for like the story. It's cinematic. Like Uncharted, I remember when Uncharted came out, I was like, oh, that's my favorite movie, LOL, because the focus was on making it more cinematic, and I couldn't believe how well Tomb Raider could combine. I know this is a Zelda podcast, but like Tomb Raider's like my favorite
feel free,
game ever,
go
man.
for
Like,
it.
that game was.
Because I
incredible.
think it's relevant.
The
talk
way it did
about
both, man,
the industry
was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
what-
I'm good.
I'm currently looking at the list, and there's a few things here that shock me, but this is probably
Such as?
it's probably because like whoever these people like asked to do like to help out on this poll have no idea what they're talking about.
What I'm really happy about is seeing that the Wii U, the top of the list, is Yoshi's Woolly World, because I'm strongly in favor of that game. And I think everyone should
I'm
get
getting
it.
there.
Anticipated
Hang
is a
on.
good word for Yoshi's Woolly World.
All right, chill. I like how the top like most anticipated PS4 game is a remaster.
Oh God.
Just that's
Well,
funny.
the PS4 doesn't have any games coming out.
Yeah,
for it
exactly. Like wonderful. But the Wii U one surprises me. I mean, Yoshi, like yeah, but like
Right now. Yeah, but Amiibo Festival is
Yeah, no,
definitely surprising. as
Animal
number two.
Crossing
Oh my God.
and Mario Tennis.
That looks good. I don't know. As
But
far as
happily,
Mario
games
Tennis
go.
all-
deserves to be on the list.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's surprising. If people are like kind of going back and forth on this.
I'm
online.
surprised
I've
it's
seen,
those
like-
two. I'm surprised Xenoblade and or Fatal Frame aren't on here.
I
But
agree.
Devil's
Devil's
Third
Third
is, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's actually excited for that game.
Mhm.
Mainly because of those 4 games, I'm buying Devil's Third.
Also, if it's a list, this is a little nitpicky, but it's a list that's supposed to encompass the holiday season. Rise of the Tomb Raider falls under multi-platform, but this holiday season, Rise of the Tomb Raider is an Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah.
It's only
That's
timed
true.
exclusive.
I know, but if this is for like statistical purposes, like when you're looking at like games that people are only gonna buy for the Xbox One,
Yeah, there should be like an asterisk
Yeah.
saying, it's multi-platform but currently exclusive.
I'm glad that the Dragon Ball Z game is on there. And let me just say, this Dragon Ball Z game, and I'm talking about the one for the 3DS, Extreme Budoten, they're stupid names. But
Butoden.
yeah, I'm excited that it's on there because it is a 2D game on the 3DS, and the art style and animation look great. And because I've always loved the Dragon Ball Z 2D fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
This is one of the first time that one of those 3D handled ones have finally come to the US, isn't it? Haven't there been like a bunch that didn't make it over?
There's a bunch of handheld Dragon Ball Z games that were for like Game Boy, DS, and stuff like that. But this is the first 3DS one. But it's still 2D. Like the art and style of the game is still 2D. It's very fluid 2D, if I say.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that. I'm trying to think on this list, like Nathan Drake collection. I guess it's anticipated, but I mean, you figure people aren't going to be as like excited for like definitive edition game, pretty much, which is what that is. Rock Band 4, sure, it's going to do better than Guitar Hero Live. I can tell you that much.
I've heard someone on my Facebook newsfeed write a very long and scathing review of Rock Band 4's current state.
I like how no one was playing Rock Band 4 Guitar Hero Live. at E3. It was like an area that I saw some people go to, but most people didn't. I think they had it outside. Actually, the Rock Band, the Guitar Hero Live.
I
Was
feel
it-
like this is the year of their comeback, but I don't feel like their comeback was as strong as everyone wanted it to be. Guitar Hero is
Mhm.
doing something that I disappointed. I'm like, I don't feel like getting this next Guitar Hero because I'm like, this is not what I wanted. This is something new that's kind of gross.
I mean, I have
I feel like-
Rocksmith. I have no reason to play more Guitar Hero games.
Oh,
At this
let me ask
point.
you something about Roth. Did you get Rocksmith to learn how to play guitar?
No, I already knew how to play guitar. I just wanted to.
Is it true to form almost or no?
What do you mean true to form?
I mean, like, because I hear people learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
from
Oh, you
Rocksmith.
definitely can. Yeah. Like, I mean, I've learned more about theory in guitar than I ever did taking guitar lessons.
Okay, now
That's good.
wait,
That's what the game should be.
do you
It
have
should
to
be
supply your own guitar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a guitar.
I mean, yeah. If you want to learn how to play guitar, you should own a guitar.
Well, right. I just didn't know. Like, is this like a game that people can play, or is it just
That would be an
teach-
expensive game if it had a peripheral guitar, considering like it's trying to teach you actual guitar method.
So
It's
listen,
like a $700 game.
there's games that, I mean, it's like Guitar Hero where it's like, oh, you have campaign mode and you play all the cool songs and stuff and you learn them as you go. But what's most important is the arcade, in which it takes like theoretical skills and stuff about guitar and just applies them to fun little arcade games that really.
Is there an actual like real form? Like it's like, all right, play the song and play this song in full from this guitar, like the lead guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's-
Have you done that?
Yeah.
Is it like
There's-
great?
There's a mode, if you get a high enough score on like a certain song, you can unlock the master mode, and it just
Mm-hmm.
you just play the song. It doesn't show up, like the notes don't show up on the screen. You just play it without looking at anything.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I have both. They came out with two, and I have both.
So does it have like a USB to like plug into the jack of your guitar?
Yeah, I can't believe
Okay.
how long we spent on this podcast talking about it, but you can just Google it. I'm not trying.
I
to
mean,
be
yeah,
mean. This is
no,
hilarious.
all right, let me just be frank with, because a lot of people do this nowadays. Is like, why don't you just Google this stuff? Like, I'm a very interactive type of person where I like to talk to someone to find out information rather than let the computer
Yeah, especially if you
control
want
my
to
life.
review. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I appreciate your review. Maybe I'll consider it.
It's a cool game.
Okay.
Not as competitive as Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero is the best,
I could never get into rhythm games at all.
You bet.
except for Persona. Adam,
I like I said, I couldn't get into that one either.
well, you made it sound like you did. I was gonna say
That was
rhythm
me.
game-
I said it
you
was good.
dingle.
You dangus, listen up, guy. Rhythm games can just get sucked into a void that isn't this earth.
Thomas, we have one last fan topic if you guys want to get into it.
Let's
Alright,
do this.
let's do
This is
it.
Tommy boy.
Right now,
All right, Thomas asks, here's a fan topic. That's not an ask. If there was a
really?
Lego
I
theme
hate you,
based on
Thomas.
one of the Zelda games, which game would it be?
Wait, what?
Which places would be the sets and how much would
what
they cost?
was the question? Oh, a Lego theme based on a Zelda game.
Lego themed Zelda. I'm saying Wind Waker, so you could have like 1,000 of those like little like pegs.
I hate you.
But they're all blue, so it's
Your
water.
answer is Wind Waker? You suck.
Just so you could have water made of Legos.
They have that. They have that in the Lego Movie game.
Wait,
You know
there's
what?
it's a
You know
Lego
what? There
playset?
hasn't
I like
been.
how I got actual rage out of you, Patrick.
I don't think there's ever been like an avant-garde Lego set, so I'm gonna say Zelda CDI.
Why.
I already set up the joke, and I've already said the punchline, Adam. You can re-listen to what I had said when you're editing, and then you'll get it. But
I still think like
I
I'm
want.
broken.
I want.
I am broken.
I want a not shoot. What do I want? Pretty much any
I think-
Zelda game that revolves around the Toon Links that we know, except for the Wind Waker that Adam just said. More like, and then actually no, not even the Toon Links that we know. Maybe
I think the top-down 2D ones would work because then
Yeah.
you could make and rearrange different levels.
Yeah, I
like,
think
if you
Link to the
encourage you
Past
be
and
able
Link
to-
Between Worlds would be the best for that.
Yeah, you
Link
could
Between
re-
Past and Lego would be fun.
you could rearrange and use the pieces that it gave you to build different puzzles, kind of like to recreate different dungeons.
Could you though, or is this like Lego
yeah.
setting up this game that they're going to decide what you do?
They give you like wall pieces and they give you like trapdoors and things.
If that were the case, I'm going to use my bombs to break down these Lego walls.
They have like little like plastic bomb thing you toss to the wall. I can imagine the commercial already with like the classic music.
It's unfortunate how like they would never do that. But yeah, I
mean,
agree. It would be kind of great.
People have been trying for a long time to get any sort of Lego set made
Dude,
for the Legend of Zelda series, but they haven't been able to get one made.
It's
because if you go on, I think Lego's website, there's a thing where they basically allow people to suggest different builds, and like people will upload sets that they've made and like try to be like, hey, this is like a cool thing that you should totally mass produce, and people can vote on them, and like the top one for that month might get made into a limited edition set.
You guys want to hear something crazy?
What?
The Lego Dimensions game, literally they can choose, I'm pretty sure, they can choose any type of like Legos from like the Legos that they own. And so Lego Dimensions, or Legos in general, there's been a Lego game for DC and a Lego game for Marvel. So at one point I'm just like, oh my god, they're going to have DC and Marvel collaborate in a game. That's going to be crazy.
I mean, they legally could, like they have the right to do that.
Exactly. Except they're not going to. You know why? Because it's published by Warner Brothers Interactive.
Yeah.
So it's did Warner Brothers?
They might put Avengers and DC characters in Lego Dimensions, so you could have Spider-Man and Batman interacting, but it wouldn't necessarily be a game based on the concept of DC and Marvel characters coming together. And it's not like DC and Marvel characters haven't come together before. There have been collaboration comics.
I mean, Warner Brothers did publish the Lego Avengers game, both of them. So there's that.
Right. No, I'm saying that there have been comics and other like crossover events of DC and Marvel.
Yeah, isn't that
common?
Isn't that funny? Like just ironic.
No, it makes sense because there were two very big comic companies at the time, and it made sense to try and combine their fan base to try and both profit out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy in my mind. I enjoy collaboration like that.
I think DC is usually okay with Marvel's characters winning. I don't think they care very much.
Oh, you think that's what they're
like in comics? I don't remember.
There was one series where Marvel and DC did do a collaboration. I can confirm that. I think that was in the 80s. I just don't know if there was a clear
victor. It's definitely not something that's happened anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's definitely when they were a lot smaller.
They were big in the 80s. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, in terms of like growth, they were big back in the they've grown.
Yeah, they've grown exponentially right now because Time Warner.
They were huge.
I think Warner Brothers didn't own DC until now, and now Disney owns Marvel. So now you have those huge conglomerate companies that are like just kind of feeding in and like mass producing all these amazing things, especially like the movies and stuff now.
I feel like this got super political all of a sudden. Anyway.
No. I look forward to working for like these companies one day on not DC Marvel, but like
so you see it as a positive thing.
Hell yes. Yeah. I just went with the bad word because I felt like it could. But yes, I am. It's a very positive thing, and people think it's selling out. No, they're making money and doing what they want with these things, so it's kind of great.
Okay. Well, I guess that's really all I had to talk about this week. But did you guys have anything that you guys want to bring up? We have a couple minutes left.
Yeah, man. When's that Lumia phone coming out? I'm interested in Windows phones, but I never wanted to
stick with Android or Apple phones that you have. Trust me, the Windows phone is nothing great. The only cool thing about it is Cortana, but you can get that on Windows 10 now.
But it's like I don't have anything to lose by just trying something new that like connects with
except
my
for like
10.
2-year contracts.
Yeah, sure, but it's lose like Windows. You lose YouTube and anything Google related. So there you go.
Damn. Yeah. Never mind. I have to Bing everything.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, Google.
Oh wait.
Okay, Google.
I will say this, Adam. The other day, I do want to give a few shout outs to some awesome listeners.
Here's a quote from William Blake: "If a thing loves, it is infinite."
Okay, that was great.
Thank you, Google.
I want to thank Liam. I want to thank Will and Jake and who else? Becca for the birthday wishes on Twitter. You guys are so nice and great. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it was your birthday recently.
Awesome.
It was.
Happy birthday.
I got. Thanks. I happened to get 2 games for my birthday. Which one was the Anime the Game? Anime the Game, and Destiny the Complete Edition, pretty much. And I will say,
are you annoyed knowing that now Destiny's recently released information that they're going to be working on microtransactions.
Oh, God.
I haven't been bothered by it just yet, so
Okay.
I'm
For those of you who don't know, Microsoft is adding. Sorry, Destiny's adding a resource called Silver, which is going to be a monetary resource. But it's going to be primarily focused through microtransactions, so it's something you could buy and use to purchase. I'm guessing unique equipment or purchase better equipment quickly.
It sounds like any other MMO to me, so I mean, I guess that's okay. It's just interesting. They haven't made this. This is just a console MMO, which makes everyone raises questions. Microtransactions. Oh, they suck. But all the PC MMO players are all used to this kind of stuff.
There is one that I really didn't like recently.
What is that?
I was actually talking to Jake about this because I managed to see him. He's been busy, very busy lately, with personal things. But I was talking to him about how Metal Gear.
The online.
Phantom Pain now has the online. Now you can pay real world money to insure your base.
Yeah,
and I just think it's hilarious how they went back in time and somehow made it so that you could buy a save file as DLC.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I already pay real world money to insure my house. Like, why? I'm going to video games for an escape from reality. Let me just buy the game and have fun. Jesus Christ.
It's absurd, right?
That's just Konami, like, giving us the middle finger.
Yeah. Give us more
What
cell phone
I mean,
games.
I'm not interested in the least at Metal Gear Online, so I'm not worried about it.
It's just disappointing because it's such a sour note.
Yeah.
To leave.
I
the
play
franchise
Metal
on.
Gear Solid 5 offline, so there you go.
Yeah, like me too. I haven't touched the online. I just saw that they added it. I was like,
Every
okay.
time it's like, hey, would you like to agree to these terms? I immediately go, nope. And I play the game offline.
Okay. And that's okay. You know why? Because the game was meant to be played offline,
Yeah,
like a normal
exactly.
human being.
I think the FOB stuff is really dumb.
That's
just
how I
me.
felt about Far Cry so far.
But I want to just say, Destiny the Complete Edition was way worth the buy than Destiny the Incomplete Edition. And it was well worth the wait, too, because, I mean, now I have the whole game and nothing short, nothing less.
Well, I hear that it's still incomplete, that there's like a 10-year plan with it.
I know.
With
The
Destiny?
Destiny, the first edition, like, Destiny 1, and it's
It finally is now like a full game.
It's a
they say.
it's a full game now. So now
And now they're working on basically expansions.
$120 later, even though the game has like what, a $500 million budget.
does it? Oh,
Yeah,
it
it does.
had one of the biggest budgets in gaming.
It has the biggest budget in gaming.
Peter
but like
Dinklage.
the majority of that was spent on advertisement
And Peter Dinklage.
and Peter Dinklage, which
Who they then scrapped.
which they abandoned. No, but Nolan North
Which is funny.
did a good job.
Nolan North
Yeah,
always
no.
does a
I'm
good
not.
job.
I'm not dissing Nolan North. I'm just saying that it's funny because they ended up abandoning.
Why take out Peter Dinklage? That was kind of like an awesome role for him to have.
Apparently, people thought he was really boring.
They're really boring.
Well, I mean, they're playing Destiny. What'd they expect?
yeah. I God.
Listen, kids, if you want a good game, stick to Zelda.
I know Bungie needed a big studio to back them up for their next game, but like Activision was just not the one for them. And that's disappointing. But like, who do they go? They don't go to EA either, because that's just going to make things worse.
Can you
imagine a
Nintendo.
Destiny. Yeah, can you imagine a Destiny game made by Nintendo?
Published by Nintendo, developed by this greater company. There's not many bigger companies out there. We think about it. Maybe like Bethesda, but like not even.
Oh God! Oh God!
Like I'm talking when you talk about big publishers in the U.S., you're talking about not Ubisoft's more Europe than U.S. So you're talking about EA and Microsoft, and then you have like other ones that are
Sony.
of Sony's Japan.
No, but they still produce.
They have American companies, yeah, but like their main headquarters.
As of late, yeah, they haven't really necessarily pushed for their main console. So I would, yeah, you kind of have a point. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know why. I guess Bungie didn't want to deal with Microsoft anymore. I guess that's why they did the move, or like their contract ended and everything got screwed after then. God, it just sucks that all these money-hungry American people suck.
Well, they still continue to produce for their console. Like, they still continue to make games for Microsoft. They just didn't necessarily agree with them on the creative side. They didn't agree with them as a developer.
Right. It's just weird to think, like, you've grown... They grew with them with Halo, up until Halo, I think, what was it, 3? Or... I don't know what they did after 3.
Reach.
It was Reach.
Reach was the last... Oh, but I didn't like Reach. Reach was crap.
I liked Reach.
I've played
You
the
can-
story mode of Reach plenty of times, but I still feel like it's crap. I feel like all the other Halo games are
How dare you, sir?
supremely better. I feel like
I will
Halo
take you to
4
war.
is better than Reach, and Halo 4 is not
Really?
even made by that company.
Stop it. Go back and actually play that game.
I will.
I promise you will take that statement back.
No,
sir.
like the whole idea of
It is a
customization
glitchy
and
match.
crap, like it was just annoying.
It's okay. Halo 4, the story was shaky. It didn't make much sense. You don't know why you're going, where you're going, and for what reason. You don't feel like you
I didn't
matter
care
at all.
about Noel Team. I
There
had
was-
no reason to care about them. Like
They gave you a reason with like
They
clever writing. and
barely
good
gave
character.
me a reason. It's just like, hey,
It's better than
we're gonna
Halo
put
4.
we're gonna put 3 games into one game, and we're gonna hope you get it in a matter of like 7
What?
hours.
They didn't put 3 games into one game. They put Halo Reach as one solid game.
No, I'm talking about 3 games, like the story that you need to understand over 3 games into one game, and then
I'm sorry, no. What? No.
It's a
Yes.
prequel.
You know
What do you
Halo Reach is
mean?
about?
What?
Halo Reach is a prequel to the original series.
Right,
It is
right.
What happened when the Spartan planet was
The only
invaded by
important-
Covenant
the only
and got wiped to shreds?
The only
Like,
important
just-
thing about that was like how Dr. Halsey was there and introduced Dr. Halsey to us.
No, it's about why they failed. It's about what they did to try and succeed and how their failure influenced the UNSC to try and save
to be
mankind.
honest, we didn't need to know any of it. They have books.
I felt like it was good, but I feel like it was a really good game, and I think that the books were even more of a reason. For
I
them
feel like
to
the
make
books
it
were
because
better.
The books were incredibly popular for that reason.
Yeah.
because it expanded upon the universe and created memorable characters that everyone could.
Right.
enjoy and
there
relate
is
to.
those memorable characters, but like I feel like it's going to be the downfall as well with like
I thought that Halo Reach was a brilliantly written first-person shooter that also had a good tragedy element to it, and I felt like it was refreshing to see a game that was very mainstream, but yet had a lot of elements that appeal to me as not intellectual. I guess
I'm
to say,
not
but
I don't want
but
to
it
discourage.
appealed
I don't
to
want to
my-
discourage what you're saying. How like all right, maybe I might take this back. It's
to
not
my
a bad
Fisher
game,
story.
but
Mhm.
I just feel like it wasn't a Halo game. It's not what Halo built up to be. They changed a lot of it, and it didn't. I don't feel like it lived up to the Halo name.
I
Remember, that
disagree,
is McKids on GameStop, MCKIDS. It is $13,
Power to the
$11 if
players.
you're a pro member. Power to the players.
Feel the
Pre-order
burn.
now for the exclusive M1 Carbine camouflage.
Thank you
Wait,
for joining us.
wait,
This has
I
been the
wanted
Zelda
to give
Informer
out
podcast.
shout-outs.
What?
Can
Oh,
I give a
thought
shout
we were-
out? I just
Sure, go
if
for it.
you're listening.
I just thought that was a perfect note to end
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry. They just
Yeah, it's
you
fine.
know,
Go
if
for
you're
it.
listening, Silas, Benicio, Carrie, Coral, I'm thinking about all of you. Thank you so much. I love you all.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Patrick. It's been a wonderful first
Sorry
episode.
I couldn't be
Thank you.
more me, man. I'm all sick.
Nah,
so-
we'll get
No,
in
you
there
were
next
very
week.
knowledgeable, and
Soon,
I appreciate
people
that. I appreciate you now than I did before the podcast.
That's how all of my relationships have been.
He still doesn't like you. He just appreciates you.
Cool.
What?
I said that's how all of my relationships have been.
Like before, people just hate you. Then after, oh, okay, he's actually not a bad guy. All right.
Oh, he's sarcastic. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any of your own topics, theme song submissions, fan art, anything like that, feel free to send that to us at ZeldaInformerPodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that's ZeldaInformerPodcast@gmail.com. Description is linked up below. If you are interested in seeing any of the articles that we talked about or any of the news stories that we covered this week, please check that out in the article on ZeldaInformer.com. Check out that site for any more interesting articles on the Zelda franchise, any updates. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, that is also in the link down below. Once again, thank you guys. It's been a fun episode,
Bye.
and I hope you have a wonderful
Bye.
week.
My butt's hot. You can edit that out.
Watch out!